Overwatch dropped their new game mode, Normal Watch. And what does this mean for the patch notes? Well, for tanks, we have Diva. The mech size has been reduced by 50%. Mech base health reduced from 375 to 25. Mech armor health is unchanged. Pilot Diva size reduced by 50%. Pilot base health reduced from 175 to 25. For fusion cannons, rate of fire increased by 100%. Damage reduced 50%. A light gun, rate of fire increased by 100%. Reload speed increased by 25%. Damage reduced by 25%. Self-destruct. Press interact during self-destruct to freeze the mech into place. Doomfist. Doomfist decided the best way to win is by punching up a lot. Hand cannon, remove the primary fire, so no primary fire. Quick melee. Places hand cannon as primary fire. Melee speed increased by 50%. Melee damage increased by 50%. Doomfist now lunges towards the enemies when he melees. Oh, that'll be cool. Rocket Punch. Melee damage now builds Rocket Punch charge meter. Charge meter no longer decays. Charge time reduced by 50%. Seismic Slam. Cooldown decreased by 1. Hazard. Developer comment. Hazard got tired of rooting people in place, so he thought he tried knocking them around instead. Jagged Wall increased knockback by 400%. Wow. We have a stronger Lucio boot. Jagged Wall. Cooldown decreased from 12 to 8 seconds. Junker Queen. My fave. Developer comments, everyone got tired of Junker Queen shouting at them and started to ignore her. So she has gotten selfish and is hoarding her command shout buffs for herself. She always wants to directly confront anyone who gets hit by Gracie. Jagged Blade can no longer be recalled by secondary fire. Junker Queen flies towards Gracie while secondary fire is held. Commanding shout no longer affects allies. Over health increased by 50%. Bonus movement speed increased from 30 to 60. Okay, so she's stronger. Manga. Developer comment, Gunny and Cha Cha will now lift up their papa and whoever is tethered to him. While airborne and firing both chain guns at the same time, Maga is pushed backwards in the direction he is aiming. Incendiary chain guns ammo reduced from 30 to 150%. Reload speed increased from by 15%. Volatile chain gun ammo reduced from 300 to 150. Reload speed increased by 15%. Overrun can now be used during cage fight. Cage fight, tether is now centered on Maga and follows him. Grants Maga infinite ammo for this duration. Pretty cool. Orisa, developer comments, I see you glancing at me. You wish to ride me into battle. Hanzo can press interact while near Orisa to ride her into battle, so they gave her the rocket ride. That's pretty freaking dope. Javelin spin. Javelin spin now pulls enemies towards Orisa, so she's got like a little fan. That's kind of cool. Ramatra. Developer comments, Ramatra has elevated the discourse of battle along with his opponents. Ravenous Vortex now reverses the gravity of all enemies inside, so he's got an anti-gravity E. Reinhardt. Developer comments, Reinhardt recently saw some street racing anime and has become so obsessed with it that he learned how to drift, so they brought back Driftheart. Charge cooldown reduced from 7 to 3.5 seconds. Turn speed increased by 150. Charge lasts until you collide. Whoa. Okay, so infinite charge as long as you don't hit anything. Roadhog. Over comments, we've been seeing everyone's feedback about Chain Hook being so inconsistent over the years, so we hope that throwing 3 of them at once makes it more incredibly lethal. Wow. Or reliably lethal. So 3 hooks at once. Cool. I wonder if it's in like a forked tongue, kind of like a Poseidon trident, or is it just like he's just throwing 3 all in random directions? I don't know. He's got one throwing behind him or something. Anyway, Sigma. Developer comment, Sigma realized he was not abiding by Newton's third law of motion, so he figures by deflecting the projectiles he blocks with kinetic grasp would make him a more psychic, law-abiding citizen. Kinetic grasp deflecting projectiles instead of absorbing them. Sigma gains free flight during kinetic grasp. Okay, that's pretty cool. Winston. Jump pack, press crouch to do a body slam, dealing more damage. That's pretty cool. Wrecking ball. Hammond has decided to try intimidating tumbleweeds and snowballs. Size reduced by 50%. Its wrecking ball gains over health based on size. So he's getting 50% less. Roll damage enemies during roll increase. Wrecking ball size. Pile driver area of effect increases ball and wrecking. Okay. Zarya. Developer comments, Zarya enemies have always feared her skills in battle, but now they will run in fear of her reflection too. Primary fire now ricochets off an enemy heroes and their move like a mirror. Oh, particle cannon, you know, put them through the particle, etc. Anyways, Ash developer comments. Bob's arm cannons are in the shop, but he is more eager to jump into the fray. Coach gun increase knockback of enemy heroes and briefly reduce their air control. Bob no longer shoots, now repeatedly dashes towards the nearest hero and attempts to knock them into the air. Ultimate cost reduced 70%. Alright, so Bob is just straight hands. Alright, that's pretty cool. Alright, Bastion. Bastion made new friends that happen to be grenade size. A tactical 36 grenade now spawns an explosive training bot. So there's training bots in our main game. Okay, cool. His ultimate increases spawn explosive training bot. Okay, so he's summoning Omnics. All right, bro's a necromancer. He's got the solo leveling arise for the other Omnics. All right, Cassidy. Let's see. Cassidy recently borrowed Hanzo's scatter arrow and figured out how to make new ammunition out of this tech. That's insane. Primary and second fire both ricochet 3 times. Ricochet bullets deal increased damage. Okay, well, I thought he said he got a scatter arrows. I mean, it's ricocheting, but like, I thought it'd be like a bird. Okay, you know, not bad, not bad. Echo. Echo is testing new updates in flight technology, but it seems her abilities were affected. Her main fire now fires sticky bombs. I like that. Damage reduced from 25 to 14. I don't like that. Sticky bombs now fire. Alright, so they just swapped the two. Alright, let's see. Flight is now always active. Activating flight now causes Echo to dash a short distance. That's pretty cool. I wonder if it's cooldown based or if you can just like kind of spam dash around. Focus beam now does extra damage to enemies above half health. Okay, so reverse Echo. That's kind of cool. Genji. Genji can once again spam that annoying emote to heal himself through there might be negative consequences this time. Genji once again can occasionally heal himself when requesting healing. Don't abuse this, you've been warned. Alright, so I feel like if you ask for it too much, there's an insta-kill proc. We'll find out. Alright, Hanzo. It is not a preposterous thought. Hanzo is making a long-time dream come true. Stormbow, fully charged arrows ricochet twice. Okay, that's pretty cool. Each arrow ricochets up to 5 times. That's alright. Wall climb and reload to attach yourself to the wall. That's pretty cool. We got Spider Hanzo. Samurai Kushi. New pass. Kishu? Don't flame me. Anyways, new passive. Press interact when near Orisa to. Okay, yeah. This is exciting. Okay, you get 25 damage reduction, and yeah, you feel 20% cooler. That's dope. All right, Junkrat loves explosions so much he decided to become one. Custom mine can now place up to 5 mines at once. That's a big. Maximum damage reduced by 50%. Maximum charges increased to 5. Cooldown reduced to 4 seconds. Junkrat becomes invisible and untargetable when using Riptire. Much needed change. Junkrat teleports to Riptire when it explodes. I mean, ow. Alright, Junkrat dies if the Riptire is destroyed. Interesting. Okay, so he's putting his life. You know what I like to imagine? You know, there's people that used to like put themselves in tires and throw themselves downhill. I like to imagine Junkrat just tosses himself into a tire. He's got like a little control pad, and he's just controlling himself to run towards the enemy. So if you shoot the tire, Junkrat's dead, and he's got Gigamons. That's the fire. Speaking of fire, now we have the opposite. Man, ice. Let's see. Cold doesn't bother me anymore, but it bothers me. Enemies. Now creates a miniature blizzard whenever she freezes. They can now move during. Pretty cool. Yeah, that'll be. Moira fixed a bug where Moira classified as a support hero and removed any unintended healing. Thank you for your patience as we resolve this 7-year-old issue. This has prevented Moira mains from reaching their ultimate damage potential. Moved Moira to damage. Now has damage passive. No longer has the support passive. Primary fire no longer heals. Instead does damage. Healing or remove only does damage. Okay, so neat. I wonder if they change anyone else to. Anyways, Aura now takes her enemies on a magic rocket ride. Direct hits deal increased damage to airborne enemies. Fuck. Jet dash pull nearby enemies along with Farah. That's kind of. Jet jump, same thing. All right, Reaper. Talon got tired of all of his shotguns wasting and cut him off their weapon budget until they learned to be resourceful. Reaper can no longer reload and drop his shotguns on the ground when empty. Drop shotguns and must be picked up to restore ammo. Movement speed increased by 25% out of ammo. Picking up shotguns increased attack speed for short durations. It's hard to melee enemies without your shotguns. All right, Reaper just is no guns. All right, Sojin. Railgun can now be overcharged to deal more damage. Warning: Alcaton Kelvin 87 railgun recoil dampeners not certified for high energy payloads. Max charge is 300%. Railgun secondary increased damage above. Let's see. Secondary fire knocks back Sojourn if fire. Okay, so she can do giga damage now on a right click, but she's gonna get knocked back for it. You know, there's some recoil to that bad boy. All right, Soldier 76. Let's see. Being the stubborn old soldier that he is, he doesn't need any help and can still outrun anyone on the battlefield. Soldier 76 can no longer see allied or enemies' health bars, including his own. Passive healing starts faster and heals much faster. So he can run faster, but I mean, he's got dementia. He doesn't know if side he's fighting on. Cool. Sombra. Developer comments about a memory leak, and the only way to shut her down is to press Alt F4. Hacking. I was about to say, imagine hacking an enemy and it just Alt F4s them. That'd be fire. All right, hacking enemies grants a stacking buff with up to 10 of movement speed and magazine size. Stacks are lost on death. Okay, so the more hacks you get, the faster you are. More. Cool. Symmetra. How does that even work for the gun? Okay, I'm not. All right. Symmetra is trying out the latest Fishgar fashions of her allies' turret. She also traded in her guns for a new tank buster gun that is overcharged. I like that. Primary fire now does damage based on the target's max health. Secondary fire charge time is reduced. It's pretty good. Current health increased by 50%. I hate that. That's horrible. Cooldown reduced by 40%. Please, God, just end me now. Project speed increased by 100%. Can now stick to allies. Okay, so we're putting century turrets on our teammates. Torbjorn. Torbjorn turrets just need some hammering to reach maximum potential. Can be overhealed by Forge Hammer. When overhealed, turrets gains increased size, damage, and health. Tracer. Reinhardt taught Tracer how to charge very short distances if she stays low enough. Blinking while crouching collides with enemies. Colliding with enemies deals damage and knocks them back. Cool. I mean, maybe it's gonna make like one clipping easier because you get extra damage on people. Alright, Venture. Venture got tired of working on the ground. We hope you dig these changes. Alright, Burrow can now fly while alright. Emerge can be charged longer for a stronger effect. Alright, I like that. That's pretty cool. Widow. She's learned how to catch her prey in her webbing. Can now hit enemy heroes, dealing damage and granting Widowmaker overheal. So we have damage grappling hook. That's pretty cool. Quick melee for a successful melee attack after hitting a hero with grappling hook deals extra damage. Alright, tell me this isn't just Black Widow without telling me this just isn't Black Widow. You grapple hook someone and you hit the melee combo. Like, I'm not saying they're yoinking stuff from Rivals, but they're yoinking stuff. We got the Hanzo, Groot, you know what I'm saying? Alright. Ana, we heard feedback from Ana players. This is their team that their teammates ignore them when they call out, that they are reloading and go and feed into enemies. Anyways, that happens. We're hoping this change makes for a good practice for them to start paying more attention to their support. Magazine. Ana's got one shot. That's all she can do. You get one shot per life. All right, essentially. Reload speed by 25%, damage and healing increase from 75. I don't think that's gonna be enough. Honestly, I don't. Nah, you're just a one shot. No. Anyways, Baptiste. Baptiste discovered some of the old retro platform and video games dub, and now it's all he ever wants to do. Are we talking Smash Bros? Are we talking Doodle Jump? Like, what are we talking Jump King? What's the real platforms here? All right, Exo Books, Exo Boot. Gosh, press crouch while airborne to stomp on enemies. Yeah. Let's see. Mace of the Face was working so well, so she thought she'd try her shield too. Okay. No bash anymore. There's a throw. Alright, so we have Captain America now. Okay. That's yep. So let me get this straight so far. We have Captain America, we have Black Widow, and we have Groot and fucking what's his name? That Rocket. All right, that's pretty cool. Laurie. Laurie got tired of allies being out of healing range. She altered her rifle accordingly. Solar rifle primary fire now heals allies and does not do damage. Secondary fire now damages enemies and not heal allies. Honestly, I think this is a good change. I think this is how she should be. Always. She has a laser beam that burns enemies and she shoots out little healing grenades. I like that. Judo. We fixed a bug where allies and enemies were not getting welcome into orbit as indicated by our ultimate voice line. Okay, let's see. Quick knockback. Increased orbital rate, reverses gravity on all allies from inside. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's pretty cool. Now here'd be a funnier part. All characters that don't have like mech on their feet, like let's say Juno, maybe Lucio, Sojourn, for example, you know, they got like rocket boosters. Other characters that don't take fall damage. I know, crazy. All right, Kiriko. Kiriko took some swiftness out of her step and put it back into attack speed. What could go wrong? Swift step now grants Kiriko overhealth and increased attack speed, but she can no longer choose her target. Interesting. So she's going gambling. All right, heart of the cards with Kiri. I like that. Life Weaver, be careful, as you do not want a Life Weaver to be a thorn in your side. You know what they say, every rose has its thorn. Shout out Grandma, love you. All right, Thorn Volley. Projectile now homes in on enemies. Projectiles per shot reduced from 2 to 1. All right, so we have Master Chief in here, and we have the oh crap, what's the splitter gun? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't remember the name of it right now. The one with the spikes and all that. Spike shot. Oh well, if you played Halo, you know what I'm talking about. Rate of fire increase from 35%. Projectile speed reduced by 70. When enough projectiles hit an enemy, they explode. Yeah, it's scattergun. Wait, okay, whatever. I'll look it up later. Lucia, can't stop, won't stop. Love that. Wall rides, gain increased move, reload, and attack speed while wall riding. All right, so speed is key. Shout out Jacksepticeye. Buffs from wall ride persist for several seconds after touching the ground. Okay, so you're zooming. I like that. Mercy's new pistol is just like a loot box. You'll never know what you're gonna get. Ha ha ha, Forrest Gump. Now fire random projectiles. Okay, that's art. Talking like any projectile? Can she shoot like a Hanzo arrow? A Kiri blade? A fire strike? Like a grav? Can she shoot a grav? I'm okay. Zenyatta. We're all one with the many googly irises. Orb of Destruction. Now fire stickly googly eyes instead of orange. Damage reduced by 25. Attack speed increased by 50. Okay, so we got speed Yatta and awesome balls. That's it. That is everything. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a blessed one. Bye bye.